And we're back with IGN Live at E3. For years, the tactical shooting sniper franchise has let players pull off ridiculous headshots from miles away, but the upcoming Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts is about to expand the series even more. Here to tell me more is IGN's James Duggan and the creative director of Sniper Ghost Warrior, Rick Nath. Hey, fellas.
Hey.
How's it going?
Welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead.
I was trying to look at my lower third because it's different every time.
Well, I was surprised that I actually called you by your actual name.
I know. It's
but
weird.
there was a running joke where we weren't calling him by his real name, but he got it today in honor of Rick Nath coming here. So, Rick, let's talk about Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Obviously, contracts is in the name, so let's start there. Tell us about the new contract system.
Okay, so with the contracts, what we tried to do was look at the game and look at what was good about the sniping experience. And what we found that a lot of players want to do is have a very clear vision of what they're trying to accomplish. So having an agency that is supplying us information about contracts, about targets that we have to eliminate, made it all really clear. So the game is built around a whole contract system and many subcontracts that we have that allows the player to collect rewards and cash so they can go through and upgrade many different aspects of the player.
So talk to me about Sniper Ghost Warrior taking the franchise away from an open world direction towards a more kind of focused, smaller, hopefully denser space.
Yeah, so I think what we've tried to sort of focus on is that whole sniping fantasy, the whole trying to deliver the best sniping experience that we can. And we found that having the sandbox experience was better placed. After trying the open world, we listened to the players and we listened to the community, and they found that putting it back into more of a sandbox, giving that opportunity for replayability, having many different ways to eliminate targets, was better for our type of game.
Okay, so we just saw the ending of the teaser trailer that you guys released not too long ago, which had another sniper there. Is that a multiplayer thing? Can you speak to that?
I can only kind of gloss over it, but
okay,
what I can talk about is the bounty system. So we have an exciting new feature in the game, which is our bounty system, and that's all to do with another sniper being on the map. So they have a contract at the same time, and you can go after their contract and also eliminate, so you have a rival. And that's as much as I think I can actually talk about right now.
So you mentioned that the focus is obviously on sniping. Tell me about how sniping in Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts differs from sniping in other first-person shooters.
Okay, so the first thing, again, from our sniping experience that we've got, is that we focused visually on being in the scope. So what we're trying to do here is deliver far more precision than what we've had previously in any of the other games. So here, I think, just looking at the footage that we've got, we're going to go into new enhanced scope mode. So again, it's full screen. We can go in and we can zoom in a lot more than we previously were able to. So if we wanted to, again here, there's many different ways we can take this target out. These two guys. Now Daniel, the guy who's playing it, he's using a armor-piercing bullet to ensure that he gets both guys. He could have gone through the neck, but he decided he was going to use armor-piercing, get both of them, and then he can move forward. But he could have done this many different ways. My playstyle is completely different to Daniel's. He's going very stealth and trying to stay as quiet as possible to not alarm the main fortress. And that's, again, the great thing about the replayability that we have here. So again, I think in the footage here, we've got the base in the background, and we're going to move into a recon where we're going to try to get to a vantage point to scout out the area.
So let's go back to the replayability. What, outside of just trying to approach it from a different way, is there a certain incentive to replaying it? Like, do you get more money? Are there challenges?
Yeah, so again, with what we've got in terms of the replayability and how much you get different tokens and you get different cash amounts, and each of those help to upgrade your player. So you'll be able to upgrade the player in terms of his skills, and also things like your gadgets and your weaponry as well become unlocked. So again, it's all about that player development and all the different cool weapons and gadgets you can get as well.
So in the previous game, we had the Sniper, Ghost, and Warrior trees that very much, you know, there are a lot of shooters out there that do assault rifles, pistols, stuff like that. Did you just decide, hey, our thing is sniping, we're going to go move forward?
Yeah, pretty much. Again, after listening to the community, this is the thing that we've done really well with the franchise, and this is all about that kind of experience. Again, here, taking out these guys, there's so many different ways that we can actually do it. Daniel's just used throwing knives, and then he's taken out this guy with the stealth kill. When we practiced this before, that guy fell into the minefield. And it was great. The whole thing exploded, the base became alarmed, all sorts of things happened, and it was really good because there was no way that he was going to complete the mission successfully and gain everything that you possibly could. And that's where you have to then go back through and replay it. So again, I think in the footage that we have here, we can see that we're scouting out the base. He's trying to find out where our main target actually is, and he's hidden. Oh, sorry, he's not hidden there, but there he is. He's outside. He's not going to try and take the shot because he's going to get as much money as possible. So he's going to try to take him out by finding a better vantage point.
Now, are those kind of those challenges that would give you more money? Are those outlined in the beginning?
Yes, they're all, again, you can pull it up at any time. You can have a look at the map and see all the side contracts. Now here with the footage, the idea was to eliminate your main target, then go after a side contract, which is to retrieve samples. Now, if he alarms the base and lets them know he's around, there's no way he's going to be able to infiltrate that base. All the tags you can see here are all the different types of enemies that he's got, and trying to infiltrate becomes very, very difficult. It's possible, but very, very hard.
So we saw Colt 1911 there earlier with a suppressor and kind of a red dot sight on it. That's pretty heavily modified. Can you talk to me about the arsenal and the attachments that we'll be able to equip in Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts?
Yeah, I can talk only sort of like briefly. I mean, like what you see here right now is what we're using here are just different types of bullets. So we've got tagging bullets here, and the reason why he's using tagging bullets are that some of the enemies are hidden. So using the tagging bullet, you've got like a 40-meter radius, and it suddenly highlights different people that you wouldn't spot with binoculars, or the different upgrades, which I can talk about later. But here, he spotted a sniper, and he didn't spot it with the normal binoculars, but the tagging bullets tagged it, and and there's a bounty that just popped up as well to tell you that
it's like
there's
a long
someone
shot.
active, yeah. So he's going in. And again, with the scope that you've got now, the level of detail that you can go to be able to see all of this. Yeah.
Very nice.
I love that you get the satisfaction of seeing it
Yeah.
up close. Does
Oh,
that
and I
make
think
me
he's falling
sound
to his
psychotic?
death there. Yeah.
So I've read that you guys have said that this is your best sniping ever. How does the sniping in this game stand out from the rest?
I think what we tried to do is deliver the full sniping experience. So here, what we're after, or what we tried to create, was this level of invisibility and stealth. But sniping isn't just all about the shooting part, it's the setup initially. So what we're trying to do is set up a good sniping area, make sure that we've got the right area to take that shot, then actually doing the kill, so we've got the execution. Then what happens, it's the reaction to all of that and how you deal with that, and then it's the exfiltration. So it's really, really clear in terms of our approach of how we're trying to deliver that within contracts, more so than what we've had in the other games and the other titles. I think also what we've got in terms of the way the scope works as well, and the level of detail that you can now actually see within the scope being so big and not having things like hands or anything like that in the way, allows you to really feel like you are in the scope, as a sniper would be.
Very interesting. So tell me about difficulty as the game progresses. Are we seeing contracts that are harder to execute, more elements? I think we saw him take out some kind of like electrical system there.
Yes, yeah. So again, so here he's using a luring bullet. So he's breaking a group. So he couldn't get a double kill. So what he's trying to use are different tactics. So he's looking at two guys. He wants to take both guys out. So he used a luring bullet to draw one down. And then with this guy, now that he's on his own, he's going to take this one out and then go after the second guy. So again, the difficulty depending on the different contracts that you're going to get is going to be very vastly different. Some people on this contract, Ivanovsky is out on the map. Some guys will be actually inside, where you're going to have to do more infiltration to get inside.
All right, so you mentioned something about a mask.
Yes.
Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so again, the mask system itself gives you added abilities.
Okay.
So this is set just a little bit sort of in the future. And what we've been doing is working with the mask to give you more abilities that will help that sniping experience. So there'll be upgrades that you can actually get that sometimes you may have with things like, for example, binoculars. At the start, we were scouting the area with binoculars. You won't need to use that if you get the mask upgrades. The mask upgrades can give you things like you can check out footprints, where mines might be, infrared, all sorts of things that can be upgraded rather than you carry a gadget, which then frees up those slots to hold on to more things. So it's those added abilities that are within that mask.
So we obviously have this fantastic vantage point right here, but if I wanted to, could I take out my pistol and just run up to these guys?
Yes, you can, and that's generally how I play, and then I last for about 20 seconds.
Sounds like you have a similar playing style.
Yeah, exactly. So what's happened here, which is great, is that guy didn't drop in the grass. He was trying to get a shot where he would be hidden, but it didn't work out. He fell forward. But also there was an explosive barrel there, so if he had shot the barrel, he would alarm the whole base. But he shot this guy, and it will trigger an alarm off. I've seen that part before. So here we're using the mask, and all that's doing is analyzing. There's a minefield, so we want to get through the minefield as fast as possible.
So you don't explode.
Yeah, that would help. So we're picking up a trail, and what he's doing is finding his way through this and trying to avoid things like mines.
We just, not to interrupt, but we just saw this UI element popped up saying rival inbound. Can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, so again, it's a little bit about the whole system that there's another sniper. There is another sniper that's on the map. He's after a contract, and you can go after his contract. And you can take also the rival out as well if you choose to.
Interesting. Now, is the rival, I'm not sure if you can speak to this, but is that AI? Is it another player?
That is AI.
Got it.
That's not another player.
Okay. So obviously, again, contracts is in the name, and we've spent a lot of time talking about the contracts. Is there still a story involved, or is it kind of like you pick and choose what contracts sound interesting to you?
There is a story, and that kind of evolves with the whole mask as well. That's why I've only spoken briefly about the whole mask itself, because that's a whole story, and it's also to do with the Siberian setting as well, which I've not had a chance to really go through as well. But Siberia is a beautiful area, and it gives us a chance to explore different biomes as well. So this is a snow map, but there's all sorts of different biomes that aren't anything like this at all. So they're very, very different. And again, I think with the whole system that we've kind of like got here, is that it's all about building upon that, going back, replaying some of these missions, trying them, and also in terms of difficulty as well, there's a few different ways that you can tackle this as well, make it easier or make it harder.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see more.